It's time for Reclaiming America with our counterculture mom, Tina Griffin. Tina, as usual, it's great to see you.
Hey, great to see you too. How you doing? I'll do some coloring here in the background.
I can
having
see
some
that.
fun.
And you
Yeah.
kept between the lines. That's very good.
I did. I'm doing better. Doing better.
Well, we have a sad story, don't we? Oregon public school launches a LGBTQ club for 4th and 5th graders. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, you know what? It gets kind of juicy, and you're correct. But wait to hear what one boy did in his classroom. But just one. I'm like, come on, people. An elementary school in Oregon is offering a Queer and Sexuality Alliance Club, targets 4th and 5th graders, and parents do not need to consent for their young children to join. Here's what drives me crazy. It should be the opposite. In fact, they shouldn't have it in there at all. But if we can't have peachy keen 100% clean, then it should be where parents say, can you please start a club for my kid who doesn't know what they are because I'm not parenting them properly, and put them in a separate little special club after school? Not that parents, a majority of American parents that don't want their kids indoctrinated, have to opt out. But this even goes further. They're not even given the option to opt out. My blood's boiling as I'm saying this. But here's what happens. The club says they will focus on having conversations about identity, gender, equal rights, and social issues. Explore LGBTQ activism and history, the wrong kind of history. Discuss personal struggles and successes in a supportive space, right. Advocate for change in our school and community, the wrong kind of change. And what all happened was there was this chick that came in, Amanda Cook, who needs to be re-educated at a proper school. And she talked to 5th graders at the Raleigh Hills Elementary School in Beaverton this past January. Here's where it gets juicy, Dr. Duke. Their conversation included a slideshow presentation with talking points about identity, gender, equal rights, and social issues. They shouldn't even be talking about that. Let's do math. Let's do science, proper science. And parents were not informed that this would be taking place. They were not giving an option to opt out. After the presentation of brainwashing, Cook sent around a sign-up sheet. And in one class, Dr. Duke, every child signed up to be in this club except for one boy. The boy's parents say that he told Cook in front of his whole class as a 10-year-old that he couldn't join without his parents' permission. Cook then went on to tell them that he didn't need his parents' permission, and told the 5th grade class in front of the whole class that if he didn't join, he would be missing out.
Wow.
Had I known about that, Dr. Duke, let me tell you something. That chick would not be in a good position right now.
Yeah, that's amazing, the bullying that goes on here. We constantly hear how we have to engage in all this LGBTQ transgender garbage to prevent bullying, right? That all the evil American school kids are going to persecute these poor people. In reality, it's these, not even educators, they're not even really teachers, they're these activists pretending to be teachers, trying to co-opt our kids into all this worldview, this activism. And so this bullying here, right, that not only will you not be in trouble if you can sign this without your parents, you're going to be missing something if you're not part of this, right? Can you imagine doing that about politics, right? Now, if you're not joining the Democrat club, the campus Democrats, you're going to be one of those outcasts. Never in a million years would that fly.
Yeah, and this thing is, this actually is happening at an all-time level, even in our government, now that you're bringing it up, because there are people that are threatened to be sued, their family members killed, they themselves be killed if they don't go along with the elitist agenda. It's happening all around the place. These people are major bullies. They need to be put in prison. The boy stood his ground and actually told his parents, Dr. Duke, when he got home, I ain't signing no contract with the devil. This kid needs to be our future president. Here's why we have the wrong people that are ruling the roost. An article was written in Psychology Today over a decade ago. The author was Fred Kaiser, who was the former director of health for the New York City Department of Education. No wonder New York's going downhill fast. And he said that age 5 was a wonderful time to lay a foundation for what homosexuality is and instill in your child a sense of tolerance and acceptance for being lesbian or gay. It's completely going against scripture because they want to make our kids land up with falling farther and farther away from the Lord. He then said parents should be discussing transgenderism with their children by age 8. There's a lot of people in leadership positions that need to go back to school. They need to be taking your curriculum, Dr. Duke, to help their brain be wired properly.
I'll tell you, if I was at that school, if I had kids at the school, and I never will because it's public school, I would immediately try to start a club, insist on being able to start a club for kids, and it would be the club that teaches kids at 4th grade how parents are parents, teachers aren't. And let's see if we can get every kid to join that one, because you're going to really be missing out, kids, if you don't realize that your parents are in charge, right? I bet that wouldn't go over very well.
Yeah, probably not, but you know what? If it's in these kids' blood, like that 10-year-old that stood up for what's right, that kid can start a club, but you know what? He'd probably be bullied in starting it. But that's what I did. It took me 3 years to start a club when I was in high school, not knowing my rights. It should have taken 3 minutes to get my club started looking back. But I want to tell parents we can fight back. If they're still sending their kids to public school, pray about it. I really think you should pull them out of public school. It's a burning, crumbling building as we see it. Kids are barely surviving, running out of the flames. But if you're considering homeschooling, and many parents are right now in Tennessee, it's blowing up major. Check out Homeschool with Moxie. For information, download the Counterculture Mom app. We have that app. It's loaded with resources, and you can get 10% off of anything you want with homeschooling for Moxie. Homeschooling with Moxie with a discount code, 10% off with using the code TINA. And then we also have Tuttle Twins books. They're fantastic. You can go to TuttleTwins.com, put the code TINA in there. You also get 40% off. Obviously, you have your Freedom Project Academy that people can sign up for and get homeschooling curriculum that is awesome to get this country back on track. So a lot of options for parents that are wondering what can they do. That's what you guys can do today.